mixtapes, start promoting, and introducing what we was doing, to the people. And the situation didn't pan out how we expected. We wanted to put a project out. It was a big personnel change inside of the building. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with the record industry, but labels nowadays, they got a saying like it's musical chairs, And what that means is it be new CEOs, A&Rs, they come and they go. So my project was caught in limbo up there, but we built a fan base through the internet, the mixtape, the street game, and all that, So when I reassessed my situation, I just stepped back, and we was working on my album, and I was kind of upset. Not even kind of, I was upset, and I was a little let down with the situation with my label. But just my upbringing, my life before the music, it was always a uphill battle for what we was trying to do. So I just went in the studio real hard to the paint, closed the door, and start working again, and we just caught a momentum and caught an idea like we gonna just run it, whatever. We ain't got the label, be honest, no more, but we got the fans and we got something that need to be heard. And it turned into that project, the Marathon. And we just put it out free, through my Twitter. And a lot of people connected to it, And since then everything been built, and it's all independent, it's all in-house. And so, to answer the question, the idea of the Marathon is really just about sticking to your script, looking at things as a long-term goal. Like, you told me on the outside that you're doing law, that take 10 years, 8 years, just to get, to where you're trying to get. What's up, little mama? Yeah. But just anything that's worth having is worth working for. It's worth, sticking in and staying down through the ups and the downs, because anything come with challenges. And we got a mentality, we just go hard 25/8, you don't stop working, you stick to the script. You look at obstacles as speed bumps and not brick walls, and by being delusional about your success and not even allowing negative thoughts to enter your mind state, you create it, and it happens for you no matter what it is, So that's what it's about, in my opinion.
All right, now, the advice that you give us, I notice that a lot of rappers, they tend to have an image and then who they truly are. And those two people may be separate. Like what they rap about isn't necessarily what they live. It seems that you put a lot of like socio-political views into your lyrics. You put a lot of like advice, like a lot of life into what you do. Can you go into like how you write and who you write for, who you trying to reach?
When I write, it's different levels that you can create from, and it comes out the best and you impact the most your true self, and it's just what you're going through and your honest feelings at the time. When you try to make a single or you try to make a record that is going, like you aiming at something, but just in my case, a lot of times it sounds like you trying. But when you just go in and you just let the music speak to you and you get it off your chest, it comes out as really who you are. It's just natural. It comes out like that. So I feel like, I got past that. When I was on the label, I was really trying to come with records that would motivate this company to make a move on my project. And, it was to no avail. But, when we got just back in the studio and just focused fully on music, you create from a different place. And I feel like it's just about not looking at it as product. When you're in the studio, you create music and you're getting feelings off, period. And when you step out and you look at what you got, you go back into the mentality of product. This is a business. We're trying to make money. We're trying to move units. We're trying to reach as many people as possible. But in the creative process, it just comes out as who you are when you go at it honestly. And you remove the motivation of, money and, quote unquote singles and big records. You don't think in that mentality when you create. You're thinking, who you are, what you've been through, what is your life story, what do you believe in, what do you want to be known for when you leave, stuff like that. And when you come from that angle, it seems like you connect with more people and more people, receive your music, positively. Yeah.
That's cool, that's deep. All right. So when you talk about
ain't trying to get too deep.
When you talk about the drive and the will to do something, you have to have like a passion for it, right? And a lot of people don't know, but you're actually retreating, you know. Can you talk about, you actually have the I Love Every Tour going on, you have all these different things that you're doing on that side. Have you ever been, and if so, like, what was your experience like?
Yeah, I have been back to Africa when I was 19. Actually, when I was 18, I had my 19th birthday out there, and that was my first time back home. And you know, my pops was born and raised in Africa, East Africa, and my mom's is from America, and I was raised by my mom predominantly. You know, so I had, before going back out there, I had identified completely with my American side. I knew my last name and I knew my pops and everything, but I didn't really have a full, up close and personal understanding of that side of my culture. When I went out there, I seen the country. I seen, you know, where they place the priorities out there. It's a different value system, you know, and just living in America, being raised out here, we got a real material mentality, you know, and it's nothing, I mean, at a point in time, it's, you know, you went in Rome, you do as the Romans, and, you know, this is what America's about, but when we went home, it was kind of, it shifted my understanding of what it's about. For example, you know, every day from like 12 to 3, everything in the city shut down. People go home and have lunch with their family. Every day, everything shut down. Schools let out. Everybody everybody's job presses pause for like 3 hours and they go sit down and eat with their folks. And it makes their families closer. And by their family being closer, their neighborhood be a little bit closer. And by their neighborhood being closer, their city be a little more family oriented. And it turned into a more environment in a safer city because people are more connected with their loved ones and they experience that more. Whereas we just out here in the streets every day, all day. You know, we moving real fast. A lot of times we'd come in the house, what's up, holler at your folks for 2 seconds, shower and leave again. And, you know, by not having that foundation of family at the house, it turned into other things out here in the streets, especially for young people that's growing up that, you know, look at the streets as their family. Because that's where they spend most of their time. And there's a certain reality in the streets that, you know, they adapt that mentality because they out there so much. That was one of the main things that one of the main differences I saw was the family values out there. And it did a lot for me too. I stayed out there for like 90 days and you know, it changed my mentality in a major way. I'm back out here, so I feel like I need that again because I ain't been since I was 18. I'm 26 now, it's been a while, so, you know, I need to go sit down again and just, you know, soak that up. It did something for me, for sure.
The things that you learned growing up, you know, the experience that you went through in Africa, the things that you go through on a daily basis, shape you into the person that you are today, right?
No question.
So, the things that you put into your music, do you feel as though that in order to spread out your demographics or to pretty much make it platinum, make a platinum record, like be the main hit on the radio, you know, go international, do you feel like you have to change the views that you put into your music? Do you feel like you have to essentially dumb your music down in order to make it big?
I have at one point felt like that, but you know, my mentality on that's evolved, and I got a better understanding of what it's about. I think that it's more so about what you want to be known for. That's more important than anything. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want out of life, really? You know, and then judge it from there. If that's what you want, hit records and, you know, radio presence, then that's how you go at it. But there's been a lot of people that's had that, and, you know, you ask anybody from our generation who they are, we don't know them. Then there's other artists that they outlast their generation because of the message in their music and because of what they represented. And I feel like that's more so what I would be in it for. And not to say we don't want radio records and we don't want platinum success, but that's a different stage in the process. After you've done creating, you kind of gauge what you got and then develop a business plan around it. But you always want to keep the creative process pure and honest, because it turns into something else when it's not. And as a fan of music, you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you be following an artist and then they'll drop something or they'll do something that'll turn you off because it turns from just them getting things off their chest and speaking to their audience into trying to sell something. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times artists lost me like that. And so I feel like that's the struggle as an artist. You got to be more clever when it comes to reaching more people, but keeping your message 100 with what it was from the beginning. Because you grow and you evolve as a person. You know what I mean? So your music is going to naturally follow, you know, but it's just about thinking about it enough and doing it enough to where you can find the middle ground between truth and product and grinding and hustling. And you can find something in the middle that, you know, serves both interests. But me personally, I lean towards just keeping it 100 and being honest with myself and with my fans. Because I've come to find out that when you give people something, they give it back in one form or another. You know what I'm saying? If you give people something that impacts them and affects them in a way, you know, that they feel they gain something, they're going to buy tickets to your concerts, they're going to buy your mixtapes, they're going to get on iTunes, they're going to support what you're doing. And, you know what I'm saying? It's a fact. So, you know, we lean towards just keeping the honesty and the raw emotions in what we're doing. Yeah.
All right. As you grow in fame, you get more money, you get more famous. Do you find it difficult to keep up the relationships in your local community? Because I know a lot of people, they get, like your best friends can turn on you and get jealous when they see something, you know, and it turns into a group of people trying to hold you back and keep you at the level you are, you know, the different things that you represent in your local community, you know. It may get a little difficult to please them and to not go Hollywood, as they would say.
Yeah. That's another one of the big struggles you're gonna deal with as an artist, especially if you come from LA or especially if you come from the streets in general. And you know, you got a lot of people that feel entitled to your success on their time frame. Because a lot of times in my situation, I had plans to do for a lot of people that helped me, but it just wasn't on their time frame. And I've never been one to speak about what I'm gonna do, especially if it's something generous. I don't feel like you know what I'm saying, you broadcast that, you just do it. And a lot of times people be like, damn, it been a year, he been on for a year, I ain't got nothing yet. You know what I'm saying, fuck this nigga, he ain't, you know what I'm saying, he Hollywood, he ain't doing nothing for me. When, you know, and it's an understanding on my side too. You have to understand what's going on with the way people looking at you. They might assume you got 100 million because they heard your song on the radio, and that's just not the reality of how the shit works. You know what I'm saying? And they might assume you got a chain on or a watch or a car that you balling out of control, and you know that's not the reality of the situation. You got responsibilities, you got priorities, you got bills, you got taxes. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to end up like Wesley Snipes or none of these other rappers. So, you know, it's a process. You gotta, over time, hopefully you don't go to jail reacting emotionally in the process of evolving into your success. Or get, God forbid, anything, you know, we all know what can happen, it's the downfalls out here, but it's an art in surviving that transition. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, in my situation, in my scenario, it was more so like, don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just think. Don't even react to the shit, to the negativity. Sometimes it'll knock on your door. Like we got into it recently. We had an altercation. You know what I'm saying? With some people we used to do business with. It was all over the internet and all that. But the bottom line with that was, you know, it became a situation that couldn't be avoided. You know what I mean? It had to be addressed. But with me, 9 times out of 10. My reaction as a LA, as somebody that came up out here, as somebody that with the bullshit at the end of the day, is to just go hard. But you can't do that. Because, you know what I'm saying, you wanna live life in the direction of where you're going. And you wanna, the person you're trying to become, you wanna live like that today. You know what I mean by that? Like, you wanna be successful, you wanna be a mogul, you wanna be, you know, a legendary artist. So you have to live like that today. Or if you want to be a nigga that got life in jail, or that got 100 years, or that on the run from the police, you can live like that today. But what you do is going to, you know what I'm saying, it's going to dictate what happens in the future. So I just try to, you know, create a program in my life that goes in the direction of what I'm trying to do, you know? But yeah, you're right, that's been a hard battle, just some people just naturally more sincere, and that's just going to understand that they don't understand right now. You know, I don't know what's going on with bro, but I know his quality, and I know his nature. He a good dude, he 100, so I'm going to give him his time and his space. And when it's like that, it come back around and you get your time to bless them individuals. Some people feel like, you know, if I can't get nothing, you know what I'm saying, if I ain't on the boat, it's not leaving the dock, you feel me? And you just, you know,